Radio thanks the UT Athletic Department and the men's basketball program for their support. Coach Barnes' 8th season on the hardwood includes home games against Kentucky, Vandy, and more at Thompson Bowling Arena. General public ticket info for UT basketball is at allvols.com. Student ticket info and login is at bigorangetics.utk.edu. That's TIX. Volunteer Radio says Go Vols basketball.
This is John Wilkerson of the Vol Network and Sports Talk on WNML, and proud to have been a part of WUTK. Here's a shout out to our listeners from when we were Album 90 and New Rock 90. Thanks to you and those cents, we've been rocking ears for 40 years on Volunteer Radio, 90.3 The Rock, UT's College of Rock.
The Rock thanks the Knoxville Ice Bears Southern Professional Hockey League team for their support. Their 2022-2023 home ice season from October through April includes games with SPHL rivals Fayetteville, Huntsville, Roanoke, and more at the Civic Coliseum downtown. Single game and season tickets are at KnoxvilleIceBears.com or 865-525-PUCK. Rock Solid Sports features Ice Bears Wednesdays with news and updates. Volunteer Radio says Go Ice Bears.
It's Wednesday, time for Rock Solid Sports.
Pitch hit high in the air into left field, and that ball is gone. George Beck has given Tennessee the lead. Christian Scott, a leap at the fence. He robs a home run.
Sponsored by Fieldhouse Social, the modern sports bar next to campus at University Commons. FieldhouseSocial.com.
Ben Joyce kicks and delivers. Strike 3.
Rock Solid Sports, the only show with a home field advantage for UT Athletics. Here's tonight's host.
Oh, yeah, it is that time again. It is Wednesday night, 7 o'clock p.m. here in beautiful Knoxville, Tennessee. We hope you are enjoying this gorgeous fall day as has come upon us. And, of course, as we lead to the ever big and important weekend coming up here. So, that being said, welcome in. I am your host, Coach Clarke. To my left, I have Dylan Becker. Over in the fishbowl, we have Dominic Thongard. And we also have our guy, Justin Clemmer, down at Fieldhouse Social, our Wednesday night sponsor. And, of course, we are also joined by Coach Clarke from the Ice Bears. We will have him in just a second. Before we get to Coach Clarke, let's throw it over to our guy, Justin. Let us know how the scene is popping over at Fieldhouse Social on this Wednesday night. Justin, how is it going, sir?
What it do, baby? It's all good over here in at Fieldhouse Social. It's Wednesday, so that means it's trivia night. And actually, if you win trivia tonight, you'll win a twisted tea. So I know Dylan wishes that he was here.
Oh, I definitely would. If I could have played trivia while I had my laptop opening like you do, I would, but that's considered cheating. Even though I try to play as honestly as I can whenever I'm there. I don't play officially. I just kind of do it in my head. I always win that way, though.
Yeah, they got like 3 of them. They got like 3 of them over here.
Oh.
Do they give you crap for being on your laptop?
Oh, no.
Personally playing? Okay.
Because like I'm not officially playing, so I can just like kind of sit there. Okay, what's the answer to this? Okay, I think I got it right. And if I do, I little celebrate. And if I don't, well, I just kind of lie to you guys and say that I'm getting them all right.
That's what we want to hear. You know, always with the winner attitude. That is Dylan Becker, of course. We've definitely got the winner attitude going on today. As I mentioned just a second ago, we do have Coach Clarke from the Ice Bears joining us today. Coach, can you hear us?
I can.
All right. Good to have you on once again. We appreciate you being here with us and to talk about, of course, this past weekend. We previewed last week, you guys going into this week, the past weekend versus Evansville. Knew, of course, this, started the big 20th anniversary of the Ice Bears and just how much that meant to the fans, of course. And so that being said, now that we're past the weekend and you guys got the split, you got the win here in Knoxville. Unfortunately, not in Evansville, but we obviously kept up with it, and we're curious on your takes of how you thought about the game over both games, over the weekend.
You know what? First game, I think we did pretty well. The first period didn't go so hot. Just some young guys in, and nerves, and the first game's pro, and playing with new players they've never played with, what have you. But yeah, no, we started to pick it up in the second, and obviously poured it on in the third. I thought it was a great crowd. Loved the jerseys. The Tennessee jerseys were awesome, and some fans got to purchase them after, so we should be seeing those walking around town and in the arenas for sure. Those are pretty cool. And then we got our first home win and as a team, and it was awesome. For the second game, we traveled over there to Evansville, and we came up a little bit short, a little bit of penalty trouble, and I thought our defensive zone just needs a little bit of work, and that's what we've been working on all week, and just trying to tighten up on our systems and just getting everybody on the same page. So hopefully this weekend we'll have a better effort in the result.
Coach, you mentioned there were a lot of guys who hadn't really played for the organization before. As kind of the supreme authority on the team, how do you encourage them and keep them cool with the new situation they're in?
I just told them, don't be nervous. Just go out and have fun. I mean, if you play nervous, you hold your stick tight and you can't make plays and you're worried about things. Just go out there. It's a regular game, and just do the best you can.
So I was wondering.
Actually.
So obviously there was some fights this weekend. You just talked about how you like it when they calm the nerves. Does a fight calm the nerves? And what do you as a coach think when you see a fight go out on the ice? Because as a fan, that's what I love to see. That's what I love to see.
Oh, it's always exciting to see that. It gets the guys going. I think that actually relieved a little bit of nervousness once that first one got out of the way there. There were having to be a few more in the game. So I think the crowd got, the good second and third period and a bunch of nice fights. And I think they left pretty happy with the home win.
Kind of branching off that, actually, obviously, like, people are paying more attention to safety. Guys in the NHL like Ryan Reeves and Tom Wilson and Brad Marchand are getting in trouble more often than they have in the past. What's kind of your opinion on the role of the enforcer sticking up for guys of the team in more unorthodox ways, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's sort of slowly getting out of the game where there's like an actual let's just say enforcer. I mean, anyone on our team can play hockey, and they can also back it up. I think we have a tough team, and we've got some big cats on our team that do take care of business when they need to, but they're also hockey players, and they don't need to do that all the time. But when the time comes to protect their teammates, I mean, it is what it is.
What are some signs that your team is going to be doing well this season, besides obviously picking up wins?
Sorry, I could barely hear you there.
He asked, what are some signs that the team might be doing pretty good this season, besides picking up, obviously, the first win of the season at home?
You know what? I just, we changed some lines around. I just like our offensive ability. We did actually make a couple trades here in the last day or two to strengthen our defensive end. I thought overall, for a group that only had 4 days really to get ready and get things going, I thought we were on to good things there. There's a lot of good stuff, and we just got to build every day. And today at practice, really loved the effort. And a couple new guys came in. We just got Andrew Ballant back, who's a top player in this league, and he was up in the ECHL. That only helps our firepower more. And we brought in a defenseman, St. Pierre. He's helping our blue line now. So I mean, I think we're going to see a pretty good, solid hockey team this weekend. It's going to be exciting to watch these guys in action.
So before we get to next weekend, of course, and previewing that, I do want to ask you, of course, you had a couple people really help stand out in that first game here in Knoxville. And excuse me if I don't get the last name correct. I'm not always the best with hockey names. Brady Florent scoring twice in the third period as well as Cole McKechnie. So I guess, what did you see from those guys that obviously it seems like from Florent, as far as him being able to help propel you guys in that third period? Did you see from them kind of what you had hoped and expected to see as you were going into this game? Did they give you any surprises that you weren't expecting?
No, I mean, I was here 2 years ago. I got to see Brady play firsthand, and I think he's actually gotten better since I last see him. And he's a guy that we can go to for goals, and that's why he's on the ice a lot. And he really helped us out on the Friday night there. Got a couple big goals, and Cole's a good kid. He played for me last season, won a championship with us, and I knew what he brings, what style of game he brings, and he's always had a knack for getting those big goals. And happy to see him get his first SPHL goal there. So yeah, no, I was impressed with both guys, and there's a few other guys on our team as well that did well.
Also, Steed, I got to point out Christian Steed making 23 saves for you all in that game and helping to secure your first win as a head coach in the SPHL. Obviously, tremendous effort from some of the Ice Bears out there, just, on a night where they were wearing Tennessee jerseys, truly giving it their all out there. So as we move forward from this past weekend and we start to look forward to the next matchup, what's the confidence level going in there as you guys, I know you split the first series and hoping to expect to see some good things from your guys. How's the feeling going into this next one?
Well, first off, you mentioned Stead there. I'd never seen him play before, just practice, what have you. But, man, he's a gamer. I think he's a difference maker. I think we got two really good goalies with him and Jimmy Pareda as well. And I don't think the guys are ever nervous with either one of those guys in the net. But, yeah, no, the confidence today at practice was high. We just want to keep that going tomorrow in practice and be ready for Fayetteville come Friday night.
All right. Yeah. And so obviously going against Fayetteville, this is a team you all know very well. Game here in just a couple of days for everyone out there listening. Of course, you will be able to catch that game. And what is the start time going to be 8:00 again?
I thought it was 7:35.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I do not want to tell everyone out there wrong. Do not show up at 8:00. You will already be late.
Probably missed the first period. Which
signs around town, but especially around the arena that say 7:35. But get there early. Watch the warm-up action. Get your popcorn and a couple souvenirs from the souvenir stand. So you got some really new merch up there, and Heather's doing a great job in merch areas. We always got new stuff, new fresh stuff. So go check all that stuff out, guys. Absolutely.
I always see your all stuff going around town, and I truly mean that, Coach. I see a lot of Ice Bear stuff. Dylan here sees it all the time in terms of, especially the UT, kind of like joint thing that you all do in terms of those jerseys. I always see one, and I always smack myself in the head for not having one already. It's tremendous promotional output from you all.
No, it's awesome to see. Honestly, I love those gray jerseys. I almost wanted to bid on one myself. So.
All right. So again, that game will be 7:35 on Saturday. As Coach said, get out there. Go see the Ice Bears.
Medieval night. So dress up as a knight. It's 2 days before Halloween.
I'll say it's
how many days before Halloween? I've kind of losing track.
It would be 2 days at that.
Okay,
point.
Just making sure.
So,
I know Game of Thrones just ended, so Medieval night, dress up as your favorite Targaryen. There's a costume contest. Do something with that. I don't know. It's fun.
Absolutely. Just one of the, again, take advantage of this weekend, especially go out there, check your Ice Bears out, get there early, see them warm up on the ice. There's a lot of things going on in Knoxville on Saturday night, but I promise you the Ice Bears is one of the best things that you will come across. So, absolutely. For everyone out there, check into it and, score you a great Tennessee Ice Bears jersey because why not? It's one of the best things walking around town right now. Before we get to the end of this, I want to ask Justin or Dylan, you all have any more questions for Coach Clarke?
Nope, I'm good. But I'm excited to cover the game next weekend against Pensacola. I believe my first time covering the game. Excited to see a few fights and those cool jerseys they have too.
I'll enjoy that, Justin.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we're going to keep it a little shorter and sweet this week, Coach. We appreciate, again, you joining us tonight, kind of last minute there, but thank you so much for being available. And next week, we'll be talking more about the Fayetteville game as well as some of the other matchups. So, everyone, again, stay tuned. Coach Clarke, great to have you on. Awesome way to start the season with the big win in Knoxville, first game. And so we hope for many more for you all, and we'll be talking to you as we go along, okay?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir.
Always good to talk to Coach.
Always a great time. And, and Coach Clarke is, he's easy to talk to. Coach Carr obviously was last year as well, but Coach Clarke just has I feel like a lot more of a chilled vibe to him, and I like that. I'm that kind of guy. I'm a Clarke too. I get it, man.
I kind of like talking to coaches more than players, but just because as a former player, we all say the same stuff, answer the same questions, same exact way, but coaches give, I guess, like more in-depth answers since they're the ones like observing the game as, I don't want to say a non-participant because obviously they're participating, but in a different way. It's more of a mental game for them than actually going out there and doing something, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely helps with explanations too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all get tired of hearing those same old typical responses from a player.
Oh, you just got to play hard. You got to play the puck, eh?
And that's how it goes. And no matter across what sport, no matter what accent you're using, it all translates. No pun intended. So anyway, as we are still on the subject of hockey,
might as well.
Dylan, go ahead and take us through what's going on in the NHL and the world of the Preds right now. I know how excited about that you are.
Well,
you're wearing your Caps shirt.
I'm excited about it. I don't know if Predators fans are because they've lost 5 straight. They haven't won since they played in Europe, which were somehow both preseason games and regular season games. Not really sure how that works, but whatever. It's been a while since they won 5 straight losses. They lost to Philly the other night, which I'm very disappointed to see. I don't really know what's going on. I guess it's the start of the season jitters. I understand everyone is tired and trying to get the rust off their skates, but the Predators got an earlier start than anyone else because they were playing those games that mattered in I don't even want to try to pronounce which cities they were in, but it's just not clicking for them and they need to figure out what's what, get rid of that funk and figure it out. But other Predators stuff this week, tomorrow against St. Louis, Saturday against my Capitals in Nashville. Very disappointed about that because I was looking at the schedule when Washington was going to be in town, and of course it had to be Kentucky weekend. So actually not unfortunately, I'm proud of this. My priorities go to the Tennessee Vols. Here's fun. Your GM, David, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Poyle, the first GM to reach 3,000 games with the team. It hasn't been done before, so even though the Predators aren't doing too great right now, he's keeping the team together for so long, and it's as long as your team's good enough where you can have your GM stick around for 3,000 games, you're doing something right. But other league stuff, reverse retros are back. They announced that a few days ago. They combine like modern designs and colors with old logos. If you're watching on StreamYard, they are very dope looking. I have my Capitals one on. They combine the Screaming Eagle and the Dome Capital with the red, white, and blue, which I thought looked cool. Then I saw the new edition of the Capitals one, which looks identical to this, except it's the original black and bronze, which looks really good. It's number 1 on my Christmas list now. Those drop, I think, November 25th. So you better get on that website early. Make sure you have them as soon as you can. They sold out really quick last year. I don't even know how Santa was able to get me this one, but Nashville's are pretty cool too. They have the, what is their animal? The saber-toothed tiger? It's just Predator. It's kind of a vague, it's a Predator. So it just
school logo too.
It eats things. That's all that matters.
It's a
it's
fearsome,
not that weird new logo.
Yeah, that's true.
It looks cool. It's what they had on their shoulder for a while, which I think looked cool.
It used to be their primary.
Oh, it did? Cool.
When they first came into the league. Now we have that weird, like, overbite Predator.
I think I like
really
that
like
more.
This logo a lot better.
I like that more just because it looks modern, and all these jerseys are like more crisp looking. I can't believe we're talking about fashion on a sports show.
Hockey fashion, though.
Well, yeah,
the most important part of the game.
We could talk about jerseys for hours, honestly.
And actually, we're going to talk about it over the course of this hour. We've got some other jerseys to talk about later on in the show.
Oh, yeah, we do.
That's what I'm talking about.
But the point is, reverse retros, they all look sick. I want one. If you need a cool idea to give your favorite hockey fan to your family, and you have a stupid amount of money to throw around because I guarantee these are going to be expensive. Get them one because who doesn't love a hockey jersey for Christmas? Other stuff. I'm going to do this all the time. Ovechkin goal tracker. He has 3 this season, 793 career, 18 from tying Gordie Howe, 111 from tying Gretzky. So it's going to be a while, but I'm still sticking with my prediction that he's going to pass Howe by Christmas. And I guess to wrap things up for hockey, Phil Kessel, who has played for a bunch of teams, currently plays for Vegas, broke the Ironman streak after 990 games previously held by Keith Yandel. That was broken, I think, last season. But Yandel just retired. Kessel's now the new Ironman. He also scored his 400th career goal the same night. Got a shout out from Baltimore's Cal Ripken Jr., so that was cool to see. And estimated to go on track to play 1,000 career games. Let me scroll in because I can't read this tiny font. November 17th against Arizona. So, and yesterday was history. You don't see, hockey is a very physically demanding sport. You don't see a lot of people playing 990 consecutive games. I played mostly every game in my career, but those were only on weekends and maybe the occasional tournament game on a Thursday. It's a lot. So at a professional level where you play any day of the week, you really got to be dedicated and put everything on the line to play 990 consecutive games. So shout out to Phil for doing that.
Phil the Thrill, baby. He's the real deal.
I'm
always surprised at the longevity of hockey players. You see them play till they're about 40 sometimes.
That is
it's
right.
really impressive.
Like they are literal. I mean, we say this about all pro sports, but they are literal grown men out there. Like, been in the mud, been doing this for a long time, and are just still out there knocking people around. Oh, yeah. And when you get 990 straight games, that's hard to do in any sport. I don't care if you're playing baseball. I don't care what sport you're playing. That is insanely tough to do it, but especially one, as you succinctly put, as physically demanding as hockey. I just kudos in the world to Phil there.
Especially with those skates, dude. I always think about obviously we use our feet everywhere. Like I just think about how much they'd be hurting. Just a long game of hockey after 80 game season. I bet Dylan has something to say about that.
There's a certain way where you can have them formed to your feet. It's a process, and of course, it's not perfect immediately, but over time, they just kind of mold properly. And even though you have annoyingly painful piece of plastic around your feet, you get used to them, and they protect your feet. Because I've taken several shots to, I guess, the ankle, where if there was nothing there, it'd easily be a broken ankle. But because I had that protection of the skate, I was fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to speak for probably the majority of us out there listening, or that have ever been involved in any kind of ice skating ever. One time in a few hours, it really can, it can cause you some pain, man. Yeah. And if you're not used to it, especially. So, for these guys, it's a whole different process in terms of being on the professional levels, the NHL especially, but for the average guy out there, you can't even imagine playing 9 straight games, let alone 990. So again, just a last quick shout out to Phil there. That's just a absolutely amazing stat. You guys got any last things for hockey?
I think that's it. Go Caps. I hate to say it, beat the Predators.
Everyone boo this man. Boo this man now.
Ooh.
Yes. All right. With that being said,
raise your hand if you have a Stanley Cup.
All right. Dylan is getting muted for the rest of the show, at least for the rest of the segment. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back, and we are going to be talking about some other Tennessee games going on this week. I know we talked about the Ice Bears. We talked about the Predators, Caps. There's another team that's playing Saturday night. I can't quite put my finger on it, but we'll figure that out over the break, and we'll come right back with some of that action, okay? This is your Wednesday night edition of Rock Solid Sports here on WTK 90.3 The Rock.
Hey, y'all, this is Rhett Miller, and you're listening to 90.3 The Rock of the Hill.
WTK thanks Cool Beans, 1817 Lake Avenue, 1 block south of the Strip, for sponsoring and hosting the Monday night Rock Solid Sports broadcast at 7 p.m. Cool Beans is the pregame and postgame location for UT football, and Knoxville's home for the NFL Sunday Ticket, Titans football on the big screen, and more. Rock Solid Sports kicks off Monday Night Football with the show's live broadcast from 7 to 8 Monday nights at Cool Beans. Cool Beans is 21 and over after 9 p.m. with a full and late night menu. CoolBeansBar.com or their Facebook page.
Knoxville, be sure to tune in Wednesday nights from 8 until 10 p.m. for The Alternative, sponsored by Bliss and Torrey Mason Shoes on Gate Street and at West Town Mall. And Bliss Home at the Gallery Shopping Center, also sponsored by Boyd's Chicken Grill Bar and Live Music Venue in the heart of Knoxville's Old City. The Alternative features 2 hours of the best in Americana music from the station who first brought Knoxville music by bands from back in the alt-country days, like the Jayhawks, Uncle Tupelo, Steve Earle, and Jason and the Scorchers, to 90s Americana like the V-Roys, Whiskey Town, Lucinda Williams, Sunvold, and others, to modern-day Americana musicians like Molly Tuttle, Tyler Childers, Casey Musgrave, Sturgill Simpson, Billy Strings, and the Punch Brothers. You'll also get classic Americana like Johnny Cash, the band, and Emmylou Harris, and there's always Patsy Cline at 9. Tune in Wednesday nights at 8 for The Alternative. Sponsored by Boyd's Chicken Grill, Bliss Home, and Torrey Mason Shoes, and only on 90.3 The Rock, UT's College of Rock.
Volunteer Radio thanks all who helped to keep us on the air through the Kroger Community Rewards Program. For those who have not enrolled, it's as easy as heading to WUTKradio.com and clicking on the Support WUTK banner on the homepage, instantly linking to the Kroger Community Rewards page. Log in and connect your Kroger Rewards card, and be sure to designate the WUTK Gift Fund as your nonprofit of choice. While enrolled, using a Kroger Plus card allows 10% of most purchases to go directly to our nonprofit WUTK Gift Fund, helping to keep Knoxville's best radio station on the air, and it costs nothing extra at all. This also includes purchases made at Nashville area Kroger stores. Spread the word to family and friends to enroll in the Kroger Community Rewards Program today, and please choose the WTK Gift Fund, helping to keep the award-winning, self-supporting student lab and radio station on the air. Thank you for listening and supporting WTK through the Kroger Community Rewards Program.
The Rock keeps the Big Orange Sports info on air thanks to support from the UT Athletic Department and the Lady Vols basketball program. Coach Kelly Harper and the Lady Vols 2022-2023 home schedule includes games against UConn, Virginia Tech, SEC foes, and more. General public ticket info is at allballs.com. Student ticket info and login is at bigorangetics.utk.edu. That's TIX. WUTK says go Lady Vols.
The Rock receives support from The Hill, Fort Sanders' destination for wings, beer, and sports, including college football every Saturday and the NFL Sunday Ticket. The Hill proudly hosts Rock Solid Sports Friday broadcast from 7 to 8 p.m. Located at 1105 Forest Avenue, just blocks from UT campus, The Hill is open 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. every day. TheHillKnox.com.
90.3 The Rock thanks the UT Athletic Department for their support. Season tickets for the 2022 UT Volunteers football season are on sale now. The next phase of Neyland Stadium renovations will be ready for the new season with home games against Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, and more. Info at allvols.com. A link is at WUTKradio.com. 90.3 The Rock wishes Coach Heupel and the football Vols good luck this season on the gridiron.
I just have to say you have wonderful taste in music. This is Eric Baker. You're listening to 90.3 The Rock, UT's College of Rock.
Welcome back to your Wednesday night edition of Rock Solid Sports right here on WTK Radio 90.3 The Rock. Yes, Dylan, appreciate that very much. We'll get the screen back right on. And as we try to bring you in with a little bit of our own instrumental. So, welcome back. And I think we finally figured it out on this side of the break. I think we actually have those Tennessee Volunteers, those number 3 in the country Tennessee Volunteers, playing a game this Saturday. My goodness, there has been so much hype and anticipation leading up to this one. Why? Well, because the Vols, not only going into a top 20 matchup, of course, but they have an extra spark for this weekend. What is that spark, you might ask, Chris? Well, I'll tell you. It is Nightmare in Neyland going on this Saturday night. Don't know if that's the official title, but that's what I've heard being thrown around. I love it. I'm sticking with it.
Halloween weekend, so you got to go with the spooky theme.
Did you say Halloween?
Yeah. Have you not heard that term before?
No, I've never heard that before.
Okay, well, it's a thing.
Halloween, Nightmare in Neyland. Stay tuned for it because we're getting into it right now. Guys, first and foremost, again, number 19, Kentucky, coming on the road to play here in beautiful Neyland Stadium this Saturday night. And obviously, the last time the Cats were here, they got, well, let's just be real, one of their biggest program wins ever, which is, awesome for them, but kind of sad in the same respect. But, it was a bad game for Tennessee. We have long since moved past that. This is a completely different Tennessee team, as we have seen so far 7 games into this year. Tennessee with that lovely 7-0 record, have that nice big orange sitting in the loss column. And that's
number 7.
That's what we hope to see and continue through this weekend. So let's get into it, guys, for the Tennessee game with Will Levis and the Cats coming to town. Ooh, this is going to be a pretty hyped up matchup. I think we all are aware of that. So, Dylan, I'm going to throw it to you first. What do you hope to see from Tennessee this weekend? And do you think the Cats can really give Tennessee a challenge?
Well, obviously, I hope for the streak to continue. I feel like everyone does. But it's Halloween weekend. People are going to be just having an absolute blast of fun. Kentucky's obviously a game we all care about. Last year was a fun one, even though it was in Kentucky. I remember sitting around watching it with my friends. We're all having a good time because it's a rivalry game, but I saw a thing that Danny White said, we wear orange for our rivalry games. So we're wearing black for this one.
Yeah, we are. Those beautiful black jerseys that dropped yesterday, I believe, yesterday afternoon, Tennessee finally revealing that we not only have the black top of the jersey with the pants and all that. Yes, all that looked fine. But now we have the black helmet, too.
It looks dope.
To go along with the whole outfit.
Back to the fashion talk.
Yes, back to our jersey fashion talk. We appreciate you joining us for your entertainment sports tonight. These uniforms are absolutely just a hit. I mean, I think everyone off the back was just like, yes, that is what we need. Last year, that was the one thing we were all missing, right? We had the white helmet, and I like that they did the black outline for it, but we all knew we're missing that the big orange power tee pressed up against that beautiful black background.
Black
finally got it.
It going to the Halloween weekend theme. It's an intimidating color. You want to scare your opponent, and it's especially Kentucky week. You want to intimidate them so you can secure that win, because obviously it's throwing the ball and having your guys cross into the end zone, but a lot of it's the mental factor of facing against your guys on the line and trying to make them jump, get the offsides penalty.
Absolutely. Hopefully we can put some of that fear factor into those kiddies this weekend. Justin, Dominic, what do you guys think about the new black jerseys, and give some thoughts on the game this Saturday?
The black jerseys are wonderful. I think they hit it out the park. You said it. Last year we wore the black uniforms, the white helmet against South Carolina. It looked good. But yeah, you're right. We're missing that black helmet. That game was also during the day. Now I'm just thinking about they're coming out the team. They're coming out the team. 7 o'clock. Neyland has their orange strobe. Cedric Tillman. Yeah, I'd be scared if I'm Kentucky.
Yeah, I am in love with those unis. They look so good. And, the only thing I have to say about Kentucky is if Kentucky won every game against us for 56 years in a row, they would tie us. So this is a very lopsided rivalry, if you even want to call it a rivalry at this point. Tennessee is going to come out and dominate this one quite plainly. I think Kentucky's been overrated all season, and they've shown it in their more recent games. I do think that they have a great quarterback in Will Levis, but they hardly let him play because their offense is very slow. He's barely getting any throws in all game long. Tennessee has them beat on this one just with their pace and their offense. I don't think there's any way Kentucky walks out with a win.
Yeah, because, here's the thing to me. Getting into the actual game for Kentucky, this is a team that can put up points, and we have seen that. This is a team that has a pretty good record, right? I mean, 5-2 right now as they sit at. this is a record that last year, us Tennessee fans, we would have killed to been 5-2, 7 games into the year. Now, we weren't, having a bad year, but I guess I make that point to say that Kentucky's not having a bad season. They've had a couple of games, it just they didn't look so hot, but, I think we kind of expected that, especially for, Kentucky. They've been a pretty good team over the past, 5 years or so. And I think especially now, maybe now, Dominic, we can kind of get back to calling this a rivalry because let's be real. I know we beat them last year in their place in a game that they truly expected by all hopes to win and be able to, laugh at Knoxville, at least for one time. But nevertheless, they've gotten to that point now where, I think we can't just guarantee that this is a win. I do love the 56-year stat. That's obviously phenomenal for Tennessee right now. It doesn't look like that's going to slow up for them on their part. Going into this week in Kentucky is not a team, though they can't put up points. They are not a good defensive team whatsoever. They have not been able to protect Will Levis, and especially with him missing some games there. Coming back, yes, they're fortunate that they had the bye week this past week. They had time to kind of rest and recuperate. But I got to tell you what, guys, I fear for Will Levis in this game after what Tennessee did to Alabama 2 weeks ago, after what they were doing at UT Martin last week, at least with the starters in. Will Levis, man, he's got to really watch his back this week because this is the best defense he's going to play possibly this year, but definitely up to this point so far in the season. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, that pass rush for Tennessee is incredible. We've been causing a lot of problems for other teams, and it seems we show up in big games for the most part. So I think that Will Levis is going to have a very hard time, and it's going to be a bit of a rude awakening for him after having played some of these easier opponents early on. And I think that Kentucky's offense just kind of shoots itself in the foot because I've seen stats talking about how slow they are compared to other teams' offenses. And it just makes it so that your great quarterback has very little opportunity to succeed because he doesn't have very high volume of action. And if his little action that he's getting is him getting hit over and over again, I just don't see how they can make anything happen on the offensive end.
Well, on the offensive end,
at this point, I think the best running back was Chris Rodriguez. He missed the early portion of the season.
He's played in the last 3 games.
And he's averaging 31 yards. Last week, against State.
197 on the ground. That's how Kentucky beat us. They won't beat us, but they beat us by the ball out of our hands. It's just like how you see teams play the Chiefs. Keep the ball out of the quarterback's hands. Out of Mahomes' hands, run the ball, field position, clock, stuff like that. And it won't be enough though. It won't be enough. Before the UT Martin game, we punted like 3 times. That was like an astronomical. Joe Burrows, record-breaking LSU offense. Through 6 weeks, they had punted 9 times. So even us compared to them, only 3 punts. Only 3 punts. We're playing ranked teams. We played 4 ranked teams at this point. So it's a legit stat. I don't think things will stop. Kentucky. I see no reason for it to happen.
Yeah, I'm with you on that because let's be real for Kentucky. They are going to struggle in this game. And I think for their offense, if you don't get Chris Rodriguez going, if he is not a factor, as Tennessee's been able to shut down anybody's running game this year. We know about the 55 yards given up to LSU on how many attempts. Bama's rush game normally kills us. Granted, they normally have some Derrick Henrys and Mark Ingrams in their backfield. Not really this year, but they still always have a guy that can absolutely chew you up on the offensive end. But for Kentucky this year, Tennessee has a really good rush defense. And if you're not able to get Chris Rodriguez involved, if he's not able to be an X factor for you this week, you stand no chance. And that's just being absolutely fair to Kentucky, as fair as we can be, because Will Levis, he's not going to have a lot of time to sit back in that pocket, get comfortable, and find a receiver that's open. Tennessee has been phenomenal at shutting down kind of lesser offenses. The Bama game, Bryce Young, let's just be real. If it wasn't for Bryce Young, if it was any other quarterbacks, a lot of those throws are not made and completed. So, Bryce Young, he's a Heisman winner. But Will Levis, there is that difference with him. I do think he's a good quarterback. I do think he's going to be able to find some guys, but Tennessee's defense, I think right now is just playing on a whole different level. And we're still only tied for 8th in the SEC, if y'all can believe that. There are 7 other schools right now that have a better defense than Tennessee, and yet we still have that perfect margin because we're able to shut down the running game of the other opponent and solely make them rely on their quarterback. For Bama, they had a really good one to rely on. The rest of them, hit and miss. Will Levis can do some damage this weekend, but he's going to have volunteers all up and down his back. As he tries to make any play this week. I hope he doesn't try to think he's going to scramble out of the pocket. That will be insanely difficult for him with our tremendous defensive ends holding down that front. So I guess before we shift over real quick, guys, let's get some predictions on this weekend. And I know it's not going to happen as far as hopefully an upset. Let me rephrase that. I don't believe an upset is going to be on the verge this weekend. But tell me one thing Kentucky absolutely has to do in order to pull off this upset, and then give me the reason why Tennessee's not going to have it happen. Give me a score prediction.
Stop Hendon Hooker is the obvious answer. He is
a realistic one.
Oh.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I am right. Hypothetically, if they were to pull off an upset, that's what they'd have to. That'd be their priority. And he's the current front runner for the Heisman, according to ESPN, which. Very cool to see, I'd like to say. But if you get rid of our superstar quarterback, then we have backups, but they're no Hendon Hooker.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I would point I said earlier. I think Chris Rodriguez is going to have a record-breaking game. Just keep the ball out of his hands, out of the nation's best offense. It's not going to happen. I see this game very similar to the way I see how we played LSU, and that was in Baton Rouge. This time we're in Neyland. LSU had, like you said, Chris, you had 5 rushing yards. I don't think Kentucky tops like Kentucky tops 20 or something, and I will Levis struggles too. Give me Tennessee 41, Kentucky 17.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you guys on the point about running. Kentucky needs to run the ball well if they have any shot at winning, and not just because their pass game is going to have a difficult time, but because it wears down a team when you run the ball well, and they need to get in our heads somehow if they're able to win. But I don't think they're able to, and I think Tennessee takes this one handily, 52-30.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm liking the score predictions from you guys, and I think it's going to be a wider margin as well. I'm fully under the belief of that, and you know what? I wasn't really leaning towards 50. I'm still not going to quite say 50, Dominic, but I'm not doubting your prediction, especially you of all people. You've been pretty spot on with some of those ones, but I'm going to say Tennessee gets the job done. Let's give them they're knocking on 50, but let's give them 45. And I think for Kentucky, if you can get 24 points, call that a win. 45-24 sounds about right to me.
And I was going to say 49-21, but that's just more of like if absolutely nothing goes wrong with extra points.
True.
Now, there is a world where we just completely blow them out of the water. Their passing game won't be able to keep up with us. A blink of an eye, we're up 21-0. Because that's how good we are in the first quarter. And then obviously we continue the game. So this game can get out of hand real quick. I'm talking Alabama was what, like 21. It was 21-10 in the beginning. I think. But yeah, the offense is going to be fireworks to begin, fireworks to end, the whole time. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a show in the stadium.
Yeah,
I know you guys
pass rush that we had against Bama.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
But if that pass rush shows up that we had against Bama, we get like probably north of 10 sacks because Bryce Young was incredible, super mobile. Mm-hmm. Will Levis is just not as mobile. Like we have the potential to get a lot of sacks against less mobile QBs.
I love how we're still talking about the Bama game just because of how awesome that was.
I haven't stopped thinking about it since October 15th.
I watch that last field goal at least once a day.
Yeah, I've got a good TikTok idea of a video I'm coming out with here over the next few days. It'll also be on my stories for y'all that follow me on there. But yeah, it's become an instant October classic. I will watch it as I watch Nightmare Before Christmas, as I watch Hocus Pocus. Tennessee versus Alabama 2022 is going to start making its way into my lineup in October. Just what an absolute thriller that was. As I put after the game, 15 being the number of the day that game, October 15th, and it took 15 seconds to end 15 years of heartbreak and misery for this university. All helped as well by number 15, Brew McCoy, out on that field. So, God, I know it's Bama. We can't stop talking about it right now, but we do have to unfortunately move on. That will always be at the back of our thoughts here, but especially as we move along and possibly end up in Atlanta. If we do, we have a ways to go. And next week we will be talking about a certain team that's down in Georgia that's in our way of getting down there in December. But however, we can't help but to think about what could be for this Vols team. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close up this segment. Tennessee again playing Kentucky this Saturday night, 7:00, Nightmare in Neyland. It's not been announced, I don't think, but if you have something black, Tennessee, wear something black.
I got last year's black Tennessee Ice Bears jersey.
Exactly. If you got a good black Ice Bears jersey, anything that you have that's going to blend in Saturday night, man, I just can't wait to see it. The black, the orange, it is phenomenal. This is going to be a pretty exciting spectacle to see. I think more because of that, to be honest, versus the game. But Kentucky, if Kentucky had any chance a week ago, that very well went downhill. With the announcement of dark mode coming this Saturday, full on dark mode, I might add.
Happy Halloween weekend.
Happy Halloween weekend, and we hope for a happy weekend for those Vols. We will be talking about it next week on our show. Next week's going to be a big week. We'll be talking about this Kentucky game, but also about that upcoming Georgia game. So anyway, so we will go ahead and cut to our last break. On the other side, we are going to get into some talk about the NFL and those Titans who have now claimed first spot in the AFC South after a second win versus the Colts this year. And we'll also get into some MLB postseason talk. World Series starts Friday. Stay tuned. This is Rock Solid Sports here on WTK 90.3 The Rock.
Support for WUTK comes from Fieldhouse Social, the modern sports bar next to campus at University Commons. Fieldhouse Social serves American craft fare such as burgers, wings, and more with high tops around the bar, a separate dining area, and a center lounge with leather chairs and couches in front of their 23-foot LED TV wall for Tennessee and pro sports. Fieldhouse Social is an outdoor patio with trivia twice a week and sponsors Wednesday's Rock Solid Sports. FieldhouseSocial.com.
They're playing basketball.
Volunteer Radio thanks the UT Athletic Department and the men's basketball program for their support. Coach Barnes' 8th season on the hardwood includes home games against Kentucky, Vandy, and more at Thompson Bowling Arena. General public ticket info for UT basketball is at allvols.com. Student ticket info and login is at bigorangetickets.utk.edu. That's TIX. Volunteer Radio says go Vols basketball.
The Rock receives support from The Hill, Fort Sanders' destination for wings, beer, and sports, including college football every Saturday and the NFL Sunday Ticket. The Hill proudly hosts Rock Solid Sports Friday broadcast from 7 to 8 p.m. Located at 1105 Forest Avenue, just blocks from UT campus, The Hill is open 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. every day. TheHillKnox.com.
The Rock thanks the UT Athletic Department and the Lady Vols soccer program for their support. The 2022 Lady Vols soccer team battles Vanderbilt in an SEC East matchup and their last home match of the season. And senior night is Thursday, October 27th at 6:30 p.m. at the Regal Soccer Complex off of Neyland Drive. Regal Soccer Stadium is located just off of Neyland Drive, and the public is invited to attend and cheer the Lady Vols on against Vandy. Stay tuned to Rock Solid Sports for more UT Lady Vols soccer info. utsports.com, and a link is at WUTKradio.com. The Rock says, good luck, Lady Vols soccer. Beat the Lady Commodores.
The Rock keeps the Big Orange Sports info on air thanks to support from the UT Athletic Department and the Lady Vols basketball program. Coach Kelly Harper and the Lady Boss 2022-2023 home schedule includes games against UConn, Virginia Tech, SEC foes, and more. General public ticket info is at allballs.com. Student ticket info and login is at bigorangetics.utk.edu. That's TIXWUTK says go Lady Balls.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
WUTK, we bring it big.
WUTK thanks Cool Beans, 1817 Lake Avenue, 1 block south of the Strip, for sponsoring and hosting the Monday night Rock Solid Sports broadcast at 7 p.m. Cool Beans is the pregame and postgame location for UT football and Knoxville's home for the NFL Sunday Ticket, Titans football on the big screen, and more. Rock Solid Sports kicks off Monday Night Football with the show's live broadcast from 7 to 8 Monday nights at Cool Beans. Cool Beans is 21 and over after 9 p.m. with a full and late night menu. CoolBeansBar.com or their Facebook page.
The Rock thanks the Knoxville Ice Bears Southern Professional Hockey League team for their support. Their 2022-2023 home ice season from October through April includes games with SPHL rivals Fayetteville, Huntsville, Roanoke, and more at the Civic Coliseum downtown. Single game and season tickets are at KnoxvilleIceBears.com or 865-525-PUCK. Rock Solid Sports features Ice Bears Wednesdays with news and updates. Volunteer Radio says go Ice Bears.
90.3 The Rock thanks the UT Athletic Department for their support. Season tickets for the 2022 UT Volunteers football season are on sale now. The next phase of Neyland Stadium renovations will be ready for the new season with home games against Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, and more. Info at allballs.com. A link is at WUTKradio.com. 90.3 The Rock wishes Coach Heupel and the football Vols good luck this season on the gridiron.
Knoxville, be sure to tune in Wednesday nights from 8 until 10 p.m. for The Alternative, sponsored by Bliss and Corey Mason Shoes on Gate Street and at West Town Mall. And Bliss Home at the Gallery Shopping Center, also sponsored by Boyd's Chicken Grill, bar and live music venue in the heart of Knoxville's Old City. The Alternative features 2 hours of the best in Americana music from the station who first brought Knoxville music about bands from back in the alt-country days, like the Jayhawks, Uncle Tupelo, Steve Earle, and Jason and the Scorchers, to 90s Americana like the V-Roys, Whiskey Town, Lucinda Williams, Sunvold, and others, to modern-day Americana musicians like Molly Tuttle, Tyler Childers, Casey Musgrave, Sturgill Simpson, Billy Strings, and the Punch Brothers. You'll also get classic Americana like Johnny Cash, the band, and Emmylou Harris, and there's always Patsy Cline at 9. Tune in Wednesday nights at 8 for The Alternative. Sponsored by Boyd's Chicken Grill, Bliss Home, and Corey Mason Shoes, and only on 90.3 The Rock, UT's College of Rock.
Welcome back to your Wednesday night edition of Rock Solid Sports here on WTK The Rock 90.3. We appreciate you rocking with us tonight for your 7 o'clock hour on this gorgeous fall night. We welcome you back, and we are going to throw it quickly to our guy, Justin Clemmer, who is over at our Wednesday night sponsor, Fieldhouse Social. Justin, how's it popping down there at Fieldhouse?
What's up, guys? It's Wednesday, so trivia is going on right now, and everyone seems like they're having a good time. Now, could you not? I mean, great weekend of Tennessee sports. It was really cool seeing the Balls. Obviously, I mean, we knew what was going to happen against UT Martin, but it was really cool to see them support the Lady Balls, support Patty Balls and those blue accessories. And then you got the Grizzlies. You got John Moran averaging 35 points per game to start this year. They're off to a 3-1 start, so it's good for them. And then the Titans, and they're starting 0-2. 4 straight wins for Titans. And we can play Houston this weekend. So, we're looking at 5.
Well, my guy, you just laid it out there. We're going to talk about those Titans coming off of that 19-10 win. Second win this year over the Colts. They do sweep Indianapolis this year, much to, not many of our surprises here at Rock Solid. I think that a lot of people felt that was coming. Excuse me. So, with that win over the Colts, that does move the Titans into the first place into the AFC South, solely anyway. The Colts are behind them with that odd record of the one tie being on the end, but nevertheless, they are 2 games behind Tennessee, and then having to deal with the tiebreaker, which they don't have in their favor. So the Titans, coming off the big win versus the Colts this past weekend, get to travel down to H-Town this Sunday and take on the lowly Texans, who are 1-4-1, also that funny record as well. This looks like a game the Titans should be able to take well advantage of and try and get to that 5-2 marker, guys. What do y'all expect to see from the Titans going into this weekend? Do you expect they walk out with a 5-2 record?
Yes, I do. I mean, the Titans minus 2.5, which is surprisingly low. I think we're going to win pretty comfortably by at least a touchdown. And, we're going to do it how we always do it. Ugly football. We're going to punch him in the mouth. We got Derrick Henry right up the middle. Just head down like a right now. We got Ben Jones up front. Playing his butt off. I'm not sure, but I saw the clip. After the game against Indy, excuse me. There was a moment between him and Mike Vrabel embracing Ben Jones playing through an injury. And that's what Mike Vrabel loves. He likes to see. He likes to just tighten the cleats. Just put their foot in the ground. So yeah, that was good to see. The Texans. There's not really much to talk about. They won one game. They won 4-1. They won 4-1. It's an ugly football team over there. We'll see what they. We'll see. One of those teams you talk about. Thinking about taking. Kind of that direction. Headed that direction. A guy like Bryce Young, a guy like Henry Hooker, for the future, next year. But yeah, I think we'll handle business fairly easily. If we're doing score predictions, Titans don't score too much. I think we have a decently high scoring game. 27 to 10. It's a big win.
Yeah, I definitely expect much of the same thing. I think that the Titans, what I want to see from them from this game is I want to see the run game run away with it a little bit, just because that's what they rely on so much. So for future success in the season, they need to be able to beat up on these smaller teams and show that their run game is capable of doing it. And honestly, I was about to predict the same score. 27 to 10 sounds about right to me.
Perfect. Seems like we're on the same page. The running game. I mean, the past 3 weeks, Derrick Henry has gotten to over 100 yards in all those games. But I mean, he's got. I think it was 22 Ks, 28 Ks, and last week was 30 Ks. We're not exactly winning by efficiency. We're winning by steady volume, kind of just putting that pressure on the defense, wearing them out. Derrick Henry can. And on the other side of the ball, the defense is balling. Last week we had a touchdown and a forced fumble. And 2 weeks before when we played the Commanders, game-stealing interception. We're balling. The front four is looking good. Despite not having the Harold Landry. Bud Dupree is in there. He looks good. Jeffrey Simmons looks good. And Tier's having a breakout year in the interior. It's really good to see. I saw Stout. We're the only team players to have 4+ sacks. I believe it's Rashad Weaver, Bud Dupree, and Jeffrey Simmons. So, it feels like we're pretty thin every year because we have some injuries, but defense is still balling. That speaks to how good of a coach Mike Vrabel is.
100%. Vrabel has done such a fantastic job there in Nashville since he took over. You guys talked about the rushing game, and of course, I'm looking at the stats for Derrick Henry. Not that 100 yards a game that I think many expected he would kind of continue and go along with. But, he's got 536 yards in the Titans' first 6 games. He's got 5 touchdowns, and he's running 4 yards per carry. So far, I think that's pretty sound statistics, for him. But we all know it can be better, especially for those Titans who, Dominic, as you pointed out, are so dependent upon that run game, and they have to get it going in order for them to be a true – I don't want to say a true threat down the stretch, but, to give teams much more to worry about is the better way to put that. For the Titans right now, standings-wise, I mean, they're in the thick of things. They are 4th in the AFC right now, only behind Buffalo, Kansas City, and the Jets. The Jets, I can't get over enough how good they look this year, 5-2. But, it's a team that we're going to keep a closer eye on because we know how they can typically be. Buffalo, Kansas City, Tennessee, I don't think you worry about them. They're going to be good teams. And, of course, our own Dylan's Ravens right behind Tennessee there in the standings. They play tomorrow night, Dylan, against who are they playing against?
Tampa.
They are playing Tampa.
Tom Brady. Lamar against Brady.
What a good time to play Tampa.
Oh, yeah. It's
Tampa Bay.
I have not heard that. That's actually a really good play on the name. But yeah, you got these two fantastic quarterbacks going against each other. Granted, Tampa hasn't been that too great, but it's always exciting to see. I don't want to say the past great one, but going against the next generation of great quarterbacks.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one tomorrow for sure. I think the Ravens got them where they want them. We'll see if they're able to, execute and come out on top in that one. I do think the Ravens will. I think Lamar and them will get it going tomorrow.
I'd like to think so as well.
I know you do, buddy. That's what I'm here for, your emotional support. No, we're going to throw it out to Justin real quick. Justin, what else you got?
I forgot about this tweet I sent to my buddies the other day. But yeah, y'all been talking about how the Titans, we really haven't had that explosive game on offense. We really haven't seen Derrick Henry have those kind of like game-sealing, long touchdown runs that we're so used to. But here's his last three games. 32 carries, 211, 22 carries, 212, 34 carries, 250, 2 tutties. So if history repeats itself, let me tell you, I think it will. We're looking at a 200 yards, 200 plus touchdown game. Move my prediction up from 27 34. Titans are going to have a great win. A chokehold on this division. Pretty bad, to be honest.
All right. Well, we expect to see that. Do want to throw out real quick. World Series again starts Friday. Apologize we didn't have more time for it, but of course, Phillies versus the Astros. Phillies the last team to beat the Astros, as they are 7-0 so far in the postseason, and the Astros were the last team to get a series win versus Philadelphia. So, of course, it would only make sense that the team that allowed Philadelphia in gets to play them in the World Series this week. So, I, of course, as you all know, I will be looking much forward to that over the weekend. There's a lot of great sports going on. Y'all keep it locked. Y'all keep it tuned. We will be back next Wednesday. Stay tuned for the alternative hour coming up right now.